Hello! In this edition of Outdoor Zombies, I'll be giving my initial impressions of the handheld ham radio model number UV-5RA Baofeng. Stay tuned. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, preppers, campers, hikers, whenever and wherever you are watching this. In this episode of Outdoor Zombies, I'll be doing a quick review, not on this radio, I'll explain why this is here, but on the Baofeng UV-5RA and my reason for purchasing the radio. I've had it for a little over a week. If you've seen one of my previous videos on my version 1 Bugout bag, I said that I was going to replace this radio here with probably like a shortwave radio. Well, turns out that that's not the case. I want to be able to communicate, have some sort of communication device aside from a cell phone in my Bugout bag, and be able to monitor stations, weather stations, whatever the case may be. So let's take this guy to the picture. He's now out of the Bugout bag. I will keep it around. It's good as a backup radio. It won't be in the Bugout bag, but it will be within reach. So let's move him out of the picture, and let's bring in my new radio for the Bugout bag. Boom, there you go. First off, you need a license to transmit on this, and I will be getting my basic license. I'm going to write the exam next month, so then I can legally operate this. But I'm just going to discuss a few things along those lines and my reasoning for getting this radio. Did a lot of research on it, watched a lot of YouTube videos. For the price, which you cannot beat, I paid $44 on Amazon for this radio, and what came with it was the radio, of course, an earpiece with a mic, and the base charger. $44. Excellent deal. It has a, let's just pop off the battery here. It has a 1800 milliamp hour lithium ion battery, and I'm going to tell you, I haven't transmitted this. I haven't transmitted with this radio yet, but I took it out camping with me last week and used it as an FM receiver, so you can listen to FM channels on it. And let me say a couple things. I had it going for 24 hours before I seen a bar drop on it. Let me say that again. I had it running for 24 hours before I seen a bar drop on the battery. So it's outstanding performance with the battery. And in fact, not only that, the reception compared to this, you can't compare it. With this radio, even out in the woods where you'd think you'd have less interference, I would be constantly trying to tune in the station. If I walked in a certain direction, the station would fade out. Not the case with this. When I tune in a station on this, boom, it locks on, and it's very rare for it to fade. So let me just pop the battery back in. Now, because I'm not a ham operator, I'm not going to talk about the programming or the use of the radio, just my overall impressions of it. It's made in China, and you'd think, well, it's junk. It's made in China, garbage. No, not the case with this. Let me even talk about the build quality. I mean, it's plastic, obviously. It doesn't feel like it's cheaply made. Everything from the battery sliding in and out feels solid, like I'm throwing in a magazine or a clip. the buttons, everything. It has, let me just power it on here, sorry. Even the power volume rocker, smooth as butter. And you switch. Once again, I'm not going to show you how to operate it, but I'll just quickly go through a few things.
And the Leafs game just getting underway. They're taking on Buffalo tonight. Giants defensive end Jason Pierre-Paul and cornerback Trumaine McBride have been ruled out for Sunday's game.
Anyways, let's not. Yeah, so the build quality is excellent. It feels solid. The plastic doesn't feel cheap at all. The only thing I don't really like about it is the camo, but that's the one that was available for that price, so who cares, really, right? I mean, who really cares what color it is, aside from, you know, orange, which wouldn't be a bad color either, because, you know, you drop it, you're going to find it a lot easier. So this is what I got for the $44 from Amazon. Everything you see in front of you there. How can you beat that? I can tune in weather channels on the transceiver side of it. The thing I wanted to have something like this is because in a survival situation, you know, a zombie apocalypse situation, you may not be able to use your cell phone. You know, the cell towers may be jammed. I mean, we've all had experiences with trying to use our cell and having issues with reception. You know, the particular cell tower we're on may be being overused, as far as, you know, hundreds or thousands of people trying to, I mean, we've all had issues with dropped calls. And problem with cell phones in an emergency situation is that you're relying on a central processing hub to send to communicate. You have your cell phone, you have your tower, you have the processing center for you to send or receive calls. So it's not true radio-to-radio transmission, communication. What I love about this radio here, or in fact any transceiver of this nature, is that you don't need cell towers. It's pure radio-to-radio communication. And that's what you want in a zombie apocalypse, so to speak. And it's reliable. You're not going to get dropped calls. You'll get bad reception, but you're not going to get the same sort of dropped call that you get with a cell phone. So for this to be the replacement for this, and it's not much bigger, I mean, it's thicker, there's no comparison. None whatsoever. Now, I did go ahead and order some accessories for this radio. Let's start with the first one. An extra battery. Now, unfortunately, they didn't have a battery that matched the stock battery as far as camo is concerned. But once again, I don't care. You can get extended life batteries for this, and it actually extends, makes the radio look bigger. Extends about there. I think it's 3,800 milliamp hours. I may end up going that route. It all depends. Or I may buy a few more of these. These were only cheap. They were like under $20 on Amazon. So, got the extra battery. Important to have that. Like I said, I haven't used this for transmitting, but for receiving, battery power was phenomenal. Really impressed with it. The other thing I got for the radio, if you don't want to have to manually program it, which I won't get into because that's a whole other video, and I'm not an expert on this yet. There are other videos out there that show you how to program it, and in fact I will do a video on that once I have my license and once I become more comfortable with the radio. But the programming cable. So you can program all your channels in here from your PC. You have a USB end, and you have, I think it's, I don't know if the plug is like a Kenwood type of plug, but you have a place where you can plug it in here. Boom. The other end goes into your PC, and there's software that comes with this, or you can download off the net, off their site, and you can program your radio that way. Program all your channels in here. So then it's just, rather than typing them in, you know, you have your selector. I believe you can choose well over 100 channels, but the details I'll put in the description below this video. So that's one accessory that that you should get with the radio. It's $10 maybe. Sorry, I don't have the exact pricing, but you can check it out on Amazon. The other thing I got with the radio, which is not necessary but can be helpful as far as communication is concerned, and keeping the radio away from your head if you want to extend its transmission power, is I got the external mic for it, speaker mic. And the good thing with this is that you can have your radio away from you, or you can extend the radio upwards, so you get more, hopefully more reception or receiving power by being able to extend it in the air, and you can talk using this here. So that's one accessory I got under $20. And let's see, the last one I got for the radio, as you can see the antenna here, it's an SMA, and if I'm wrong I'll put a note here on the video, a female connector. So you can replace the antenna, which I encourage you to do so. This one's, it's just a stock antenna, so it's not going to make much of an impact on your transmitting power. I have no problem receiving FM stations, but I'm not far from them. So the antenna that I did order for this is this guy here. It's the NA771, and once again I did a lot of research on it. This was, once again, under $20. You can probably even get it cheaper than that, much cheaper. Did a lot of research on it as far as I could on Amazon and YouTube. So it really makes a difference as far as transmitting power. So that guy just attaches like that there, and you have the ability to extend your transmitting reach and receiving reach as far as opening repeaters, whatever the case may be. I'm not going to demonstrate that. Once again, I don't have my license. I could, but I'm not going to. There's other videos out there. So this is the radio of choice I'm going to go with for my Bugout bag. For whenever I go hiking, I will be taking the radio with me for security purposes as far as emergency communications. Not only that, but I can also use it, and I have used it for FM, and I have also used it for monitoring the weather stations. So it's good that way. At some point I will do a video on programming this radio. I have programmed it. I have used the USB cable. It's not that difficult. If you're even a little bit comfortable with computers, if you're able to use a mouse, which I'm sure most of us can, or you wouldn't be watching this, you won't have a problem programming the radio and understanding. Even once you even programming it by hand, it's not that difficult. I've seen a lot of people comment on YouTube that it was very confusing. It would be if you just approached it with no understanding of handheld ham radios, but as far as the menu functions and programming it, it's not that bad. Really, it's not. So that's my overall thoughts of this radio. Not so much of a review, but just my reasoning for purchasing it, and how it'll improve my Bugout bag. Once again, thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, please share it, and please subscribe. Thanks, and have a great day and happy trails.